we are live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Respect the Craft. This is episode number 316, and I am joined by the real talent himself, Jack Maertens. What's going on, brother? Good afternoon. How are you?
What's going on, bro? 316. What a number for me to come on, huh?
Hey, it kind of worked out. It worked out. Unfortunately, the episode was supposed to originally be 314. I think it worked out though. Number wise, 316 might have been a better episode.
I like that number a lot more.
So we'll give a little hell yeah now to start it off. But before we get into everything that I do want to discuss with you, I have to ask you the question I ask everyone that comes on. You heard the name of the podcast. It's called Respect the Craft. So for you, when you hear that term, the craft, what does that mean to you?
The craft, to me, when I hear that, I haven't even thought of that, but thinking about it, first thing that comes off the top of my head is just the art form of wrestling when it comes to just how we do it, making sure everybody's safe and trying our best to put on the best show for the fans. It's the whole craft there's multiple sides to that puzzle. So in my head, that the whole puzzle is the whole craft, and just respecting that is a big thing for me too.
Gotcha. No, that works out right there. So now I have to ask you, for you, what was it that made you decide, you know what, I have to step into this craft here? This wasn't just something I enjoy to watch. This isn't just your ordinary hobby. This is something like, I got to get through those ropes. This has to be the path here.
Okay, so when you're a kid and teachers are asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? There's never been an answer that I've had other than professional wrestler. In my head, and I've learned how to put this together as I've gotten older, but I've realized that the way wrestlers made me feel when I was a kid was the exact way I want to make other people feel about wrestling. So if I can do that, then that means my goal is completely completed.
Got you. That works right there. Love to hear it. And here we go. We got the boss man himself, Billy Fetsky, in the chat. Hello. What's going on?
Hello, Billy. How you doing?
So it's I guess he's making sure we're watching everything, because I can imagine one Harry Turjanian making sure the investments are there. That's all. I had to speak to Harry very much in order to get this rescheduled here. So I'm glad we're able to get this done, because yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But I want to talk first about Jack here. I don't want to get to Harry, because I don't want to inflate his ego any more than I have to.
Okay. But, all right, fair enough.
When it comes to that, though, now when we come to, again, the real talent, the real Jack Maertens, I want to get into that, because originally it was the real Jack Maertens. So I want to go into that mindset of finding who that is. How do we get to who is the real Jack Maertens here?
Are you asking how I got from the real to the real talent and what that process was like?
No. Just for you, even finding out who the real was, like finding who you are in the squared circle. Not even the real that switch from the real talent, because we're gonna get into that in a bit. But just finding out who you were originally, like finding that those footsteps right there.
Okay, so in my head, the idea behind the real Jack Maertens was, whenever a wrestler steps through the curtain, they have a persona of sorts, and they want to be that persona to their utmost ability. It's in some cases it's who they want to be as a person, but they can't be in their normal lives, so they choose to be there and the person they've always wanted to be, whether it's currently or as a kid or whatever. For me, it's whenever I step through that curtain, come back through the curtain or whatever, I'm going to be the same person. I'm going to be the real me. And what you see is what you get. And if you don't like it, you don't have to like it, because it's the real me. And the people who like me and support me will continue to like me and support me. And the people who don't will not. And that's just the way it's got to be. It's going to be real for me, for you, for everybody involved.
Got you. I like it. Okay. That definitely, that works. That explains it. Again, it's one of those things when someone usually use the real, it's like, okay, what's real about this? But I like it though. I like your explanation. I like where we get the mentality. And again, that's another reason why it now deters me from thinking why align yourself with the likes of Harry Turjanian? Because again, I'm supposed to be unbiased. I'm supposed to be neutral as a broadcaster for Titan. But again, I've said it on commentary.
Looking very unbiased right now, bro.
Oh well, yeah, because I have to. I
You're
have
not
to be
looking very unbiased. To be honest.
I'm gonna use your phrase here. I'm trying to be very real when it comes to this because I've known Harry for years and I've seen what he gets into people's mentalities with certain things. And you are very,
Okay.
I said it on commentary, a great young prospect when it comes to the Titan Nation. You killed it in your last match,
Appreciate
not
that.
needing any involvement of Harry. So what? Let's get into that then. What is this deal here? Why get yourself aligned with a man that's asking for 10% of what exactly? I still don't understand. What is he trying to get out of all this? So why align yourself with Harry Turjanian here?
Harry, to me, when he asked for 10%, he's just asking for 10% of what I gain from it, whether it be money, fame, whatever the case may be. For me, when I align myself with Harry, I chose that everything I've ever wanted, whether it be championships, money, fame, or just the actual accomplishment for me inside, no matter what it is, 10% is not that much. And I'm willing to sacrifice 10% to get the rest of the 90. That's for me, at least.
Okay, understood. Again, it's so I do have to ask though, why align yourself when again from what I saw, and this is again being unbiased, just from my perspective at the commentary desk, I saw you have a great match with Robbie Romero, and again, no need of Harry.
Mm-hmm.
He was there, he was on the outside, but you did everything to a T on your own, even delivering that devastating variation of a black hole slam for the 1-2-3.
Mm-hmm.
So why need that to lose 10% here when you can have the whole 100% to yourself?
Sometimes you just need that little voice in your ear to tell you that you're good. You're going to do good. So you don't have that voice in your head when you don't lose 10%. Harry, to me, makes sure I am confident every time I step in the ring. He makes sure that everything I do is calculated. We game plan beforehand. We make sure not only do I look good, I feel good. Everything is in line for these matches. And that day with Robbie Romero, we game planned. We made sure I was feeling good inside and out. And he made sure, without even laying a finger on Robbie, me, or anything to do with the ring, he made sure that I was 100% ready, willing, and able to take down Robbie the way I did. Like you said, I did it very decisively with the catatonic, and I made sure he stayed down for the 1-2-3.
God, okay. Okay. See, I can't disagree. I can't say that maybe that is something Harry is very good at. Again, he is he's very precise with the way of thinking, with the way of planning. So I will give him that. Again, I don't want to inflate too much of his ego here because I won't hear the end of it on commentary next week. But again, it's just I guess we shall see. We shall see where this goes. We will be seeing you both next Saturday with a very special appearance, which again, what that could be, what that could lead to. The possibilities are endless, especially with that hungry Titan Nation in the back. You never know what can happen. You never know what can happen here.
You'll just have to come to the Hoboken Elk Lodge and see what me and Harry got planned, because we ain't letting anybody see our cards before that date. I promise you that.
I can imagine so. And again, it's going to be a very busy night for the Turjanian talent agency, because also Michael Fain will be in action as well. Talk us through that, how it feels, because the agency's starting to fill up. The clients are starting to come one by one here. So your thoughts on that acquisition as well.
Michael Fain is an amazing talent. Me and him had our issues in Seaside. Because I lost, he won. He had all the momentum going for him. Naturally, egos are going to butt heads, but we realized we are better together with Harry than without. And Michael Fain, just like me, we're headed to the top. We have all the talent and the for lack of a better word, swagger to just get there and make sure that we stay there once we're there. And Harry's going to make sure, because of that 10% that he receives, he's going to make sure we stay there as much as we're going to make sure we stay there.
Got you. Okay. Now, this is going to be one of those questions where someone in the comments is going to say I'm stirring the pot, but I have to ask the questions the Titan Nation would like me to ask. So my apologies for what's about to be asked here. We are less than a month away from a very big event, as it will be Titan Championship Wrestling presents Mount Olympus. And you talk about being at the top, correct? Last I checked, there's only room for one at the top of the mountain. So what happens if the final two happen to be one Jack Maertens and one Michael Fane? What happens there?
You know, Ray, I don't like how you're trying to already drive a wedge in between me, Fane, and Harry. I really don't like it. It's actually kind of making me a little mad. I can't even lie. Deep down inside, it's pissing me off.
I'm just doing my journalistic duties here. This is what the Titan Nation wants to know. They're going to ask the same type of questions. Again, if the bond is as strong as you say it is, and if the bond for those 10% is there, this should be an easy question here, man.
Listen, like you said, there is only room at the top for one of us. And if it comes down to it where we got to fight for it, we got to fight for it. And that's just going to have to be how it is. But if he's there before I am, I'm going to congratulate him the way I'd expect him to congratulate me if I'm there before him. And like I said, if he or me are at the top and the other one is right behind him, ready to challenge for it, may the best man win. And I'm not going to drive a wedge between us. I'm not going to disrespect him or Harry like you're doing. And I'm not going to cause any controversies like you're trying to do. The Titan Nation already knows what they see. The Titan Nation already sees what we're about. So they'll just have to see what we do come Hoboken, all right? At Savage Intentions. Make sure you
understood. Again, we are 6 days away, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets now. Stacked event. Again, you will see the Turjanian Talent Agency in full effect there. You will see Michael Fane in action, like I said. In that preview for Mount Olympus, you will see the special appearance of the real talent, Jack Maertens, with Harry Turjanian. See, again, not trying to drive a wedge, not trying to say anything, but Harry's already changing things. You are the real Jack Maertens, and now we have to call you the real talent. Like, no love lost there just for he's rebranding you now?
Not at
all. Is that
all.
part of that 10%?
Listen, 10% comes with a rebrand, and the rebrand is just more of an extension of me. When I said I was the real, everything was real, including my talent. So if he wants to exemplify my talent, so be it. They should all know how talented I am as much as I know how talented I am. All right. So the announcers, commentary, you, the fans, whoever want to call me the real talent, I'm going to make them see the real talent inside Jack Maertens.
Got you. Again, that will be what I will be doing next Saturday on commentary. So again, I'm not trying to stir the pot here, just asking the questions. This is why we're here. This is why we're having this conversation, because I want to get to know the real talent, Jack Maertens here. This has been a very difficult week on the podcast. No one thinks I'm just trying to do my job here. Everyone thinks I'm stirring the pot. I don't get it. But it's okay. It's okay. Again, I want to know more about Jack Maertens here, which includes, again,
listen, man, if you gotta preface a question by saying I'm not trying to stir the pot, and then proceed to ask me a question that's going to stir the pot, you're trying to stir the pot.
Well, I have to preface it just for the people watching at home, because every comment as of late has been that they're just saying I'm stirring the pot. So I have to then just give them the warning, like, hey, this is not that. Don't say it in the comments. I already said it wasn't. So I'm just letting them know. But we're gonna go into what you've been doing this weekend, because it has been a busy weekend for you here, which included this match last night, as you went head to head here for Matt Pro Wrestling Harvest Moon. Give us your thoughts, man. After this war, you had not one but two opponents And I believe this was a little bit of a card subject to change as well, correct? Like you were originally scheduled to face one opponent, and then you get not one but two heavy hitters in there last night.
Yes, I was originally scheduled to face Mikey Midnight, but I believe he had some personal issues, so he had to back out of the match, which understandable. It happens to the best of us. But I guess Matt Pro, they saw that my spotlight needed to be shared with more than one person, so they threw Tarzan Duran and Stan Styles, both of which I do have immense respect for. And it was a hard hitting match. My chest was lit up from chops from Tarzan. And it still hurts very much. I did end up getting the W. How? I thought on my feet, and I made it work, man. It was not planned the way I thought it would go, but I made it work, and I qualified for the gauntlet match later that day. But because of the beating I had in that triple threat, I was able to finish off my first opponent, Rad Dad, Brad Belmont, one half of the stepdads. And then I immediately got eliminated right after it. I had nothing left, and the man who took me out, he took me out right away. And I literally, my gas tank was on E. If I had anything left, I would have won that match, but I didn't. So don't think you're better than me. You just had more in the tank than I did.
Well then, right there. Well, that's already, you're at a disadvantage going into a gauntlet if you're already at two opponents earlier in the night, which is already a hellacious thing to do. And again, to go into there facing the likes of Tarzan Duran, who has been known to do some crazy things in there. And then you have Stan Styles, who's a little unpredictable. You never know what could happen, especially when he has that shake weight and he has that can of whipped cream with him. So yeah. And then to face someone the likes of one half of the stepdads right there. Yeah, that next opponent got a little lucky. Got a little lucky with the drawing right there.
Yeah, definitely got a little lucky on that one. I gave a little bit more to this to Brad Belmont than I should have, because he had already been through three opponents. He didn't have much left, and I took the same advantage that the next man took. So I'm not going to say I'm any better, but I am.
Again, that just the honesty here. This is why he's real, ladies and gentlemen. He is real. He's going to be honest with everything he does in there. We get it now. But I now have to get into this. Again, this is a nice question. This isn't going to be anything stirring the pot, but it is a hard question because it's one of those because of very young still in your career. Looking back at it so far, what would be a match that you say defines said career?
A match that defines my career?
So far, yeah.
So far, I'm going to go with my last match, because my last match is always my best match, and it showed exactly what I'm capable of.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Whether you look at it, my last match at Titan, my last match at Map Pro, both of which I came out on top, it just shows exactly what I'm about, how violent and physical I can be, and how smart I can play the game, whether it's with or without Harry.
Got you. Okay. Understood. Again, showing why. Like I said, I have to give you credit where credit is due. Seeing you in that ring at Titan Championship Wrestling at our previous event, Guerrilla Warfare. Again, there's a lot there. Again, the Titan Nation are starting to see the future is bright for you with or without Harry. But we shall see. We shall see where that goes. But now for yourself, though, when we start going into your career, like I said, still very young in it. Where are some places, though, you would like to, again, take your talents as well as the real talent, as the real Jack Maertens here? What are some places we're looking at when it comes to continuing that path and continuing that career there?
When it comes to promotions or anything, I don't have any specific promotions that I want to work for besides obviously the ones that I'm currently working for. But when it comes to locations, there's a few like dream places that I've always wanted to wrestle. The generic ones that every wrestler pretty much says: Mexico, Japan, Canada, England. One place I really want to wrestle is Germany, because German wrestlers have a very specific swag that they have in the ring, and I just want to indulge myself in that entire wrestling culture just in Europe in general. It fascinates me the way they wrestle, how technical they are, and I want to learn all of that kind of stuff. And like I said, Japan, of course, that's just like, I feel like a dream place for most wrestlers. They want to wrestle in Japan, in the Tokyo Dome, wherever in Japan, just in general. I think any wrestler would want to go there. And I'm not going to say I'm not one of them, because I am. I want to wrestle in Japan so bad. You have no clue. But whenever that comes, it comes. I'm never the type to force things to happen. I'm more of a guy that believes in karma, and everything happens for a reason. So when it happens, it'll happen. And if it's not today, tomorrow, a year from now, 10 years from now, whenever, it's meant to happen when it's meant to happen.
Got you. I like it. And no, I like the idea of especially as well having that goal of even to wrestle in Germany, just because their style as well. We've seen it with WXW. We've seen it with what they produce. Yeah, definitely you see the list of competitors that come out of that type of system as well, and just their style. I'll be interested. I like that answer. And again, Japan is always
very, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Japan is
Japan
like,
as well.
I don't know why. It's like, yeah. Yeah, you get it, man. It's the top of the list for like so many guys, especially in the last 10 years. It's ridiculous.
It's understandable though, especially to, no pun intended, is when you respect that craft and their just love for it and their dedication to putting in that work. And then even the fandom, like you see the reaction, how the crowd is there, and just their true love for the sport of wrestling. It's something where it's like, oh, you have to witness it, and you have to be a part of it at least once. Even to, again, from the performer's side, to be able to wrestle in front of a crowd like that, be it the Tokyo Dome, be it Corrigan Hall, just to witness that, or anywhere in Japan, just to do that is one of those where it's like, yep, this is why we do this.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I just, as much as soon as I started watching wrestling, and I got into the internet part of it, when it was like, I know the old way of doing it before I was around was tape trading and doing that on a consistent basis, so you could see all the Japanese and Mexican and Canadian and all the different regions in the world. Now with the internet age, it has allowed everybody to see everything whenever they want. So when I got into that, it allowed me to see all, like you said, WXW, New Japan, and all the places in Europe that are still going on, in Mexico, AAA. Was it MCLL? Is that the one?
CMLL.
CMLL. See, excuse me.
CMLL. There's too many companies, so it's okay. It's one letter off.
There's too many letters floating around. There's too many letters.
Too many
but,
times.
Yeah, there's a million promotions around the world, and I just want to face the best of the best when the time comes. And like I said, I'm never going to force anything, but I'm going to push for it. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, it happens. And that's the way it's meant to be. So when the time comes, everybody will see what I'm capable of in those different regions, as well as what you see here.
Got you. No, definitely. Again, that is going to be what we'll see, because like I said, that future is bright. But when it comes to that, I can imagine, again, having that tape study, continuing to see how the circuit just continues to grow, and just seeing the different vast of competitors that are coming out. Who are some of the people that Jack Maertens would like to square off in that squared circle? Are there certain, even again, we can go international as well, or even just locally as well, or even members of the Titan Nation that you would like to get in there with? Who are some people that are on that list of I need to get in there with?
I mean, if we're just talking my dream matches as of right now, man, I always think of like the biggest names that you can think of. One of which I've always seen and I really want to work with since I first saw him in NXT was Carmelo Hayes. I love what he does in the ring. That dude is amazing, and he's going to be a top dude in the next, like, for the next 15 years. I see him just keep going for like as long as he could possibly go. Him, of course, the bigger names like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, all the dudes who are headlining right now. I feel like if you don't want to work on them, then you, like, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Especially if you want to be at the top of the top.
Definitely.
But another one. I'm trying to think of. I'm horrible with names. I'm really good with faces. I'm horrible with names.
All good.
I'm
All good.
I'm so bad, dude. What's his name? It's something Alexander in TNA.
Josh Alexander, the walking weapon.
Josh Alexander. Yes, the
Yep.
walking weapon, Josh Alexander. He is so underrated, and he needs so much more shine than he gets. He is amazing, and I want to work him so bad. But if we're talking just in Titan alone, one that I've wanted to face for a long time was Jeff Noyes, just because I like facing other big dudes. It's so much fun, and it's always hard hitting. It's very, very simple story to tell when it's just two big dudes. It's like you just want to see a car wreck, and I love matches that are car wrecks. So that's me. Of course, like before he joined up, I wanted to face Michael Fain because he's also insanely talented. But I think we're going to put that on the back burner for a foreseeable future and see how far that goes. And we'll keep it that way. I've already faced Tony Cini. I've faced Robbie Romero. I'd be lying if I wasn't aiming for the top at PJ Savage. I've made it clear that was my mission since the first day I got here was to be the champ. So I'd be lying and saying if he wasn't an opponent that I wanted to face. But in general, anybody can step up and I will take them on head on. It's no problem with me. But that's just me. I'm not afraid to step in the ring with anybody.
Not you know. Understood right there. And again, a very just again talented list right there, if you will. You have again the best at Titan right there. You have the best when it comes to competitors around. And no, that Jeff Noyes battle would definitely be something to see, to just see a true Hoss fight right there. And even with Josh Alexander though, because Josh Alexander is no like Josh Alexander is no small man either. Like that would be a very interesting Hoss fight. But to even go with TNA and another big man that I think would be interesting, maybe you and Jake something was another big guy they have in their locker room that I feel like that would be something.
Jake something is a beast. That dude is all muscle and nothing else, man. That dude, him and Alex Hammerstone are like two dudes that actually like scare me. Just like as a person and not a wrestler, they scare me. Just how big they are is like it's really not like it's just it seems unnatural. You know what I mean? Not even in like a in any. It just seems like they shouldn't be people. They seem like animals.
Yeah, it's yeah. And again, this is yeah. We got some huge performers there, like I said, but we shall see. Again, we never know what can happen in the future there. Maybe those are the battles we need to see to truly show what the real talent is all about and see.
Hey man, listen, like I said, anybody can step up and I can step up to anybody. I'm not afraid of any wrestler, but as a person, they're a little freaky. You know what I'm saying? They're a little freaky. That's all.
Well, let's not keep saying that, because they'll use that to an advantage. Like, well, I know he's afraid of me now, so that works.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna shut the hell up now. All right, Harry's about to text me in like 5 seconds.
I'm about to get that message right now. Cut the air. That's it. You're done. I don't want to piss Harry off because it took long enough to be able to reschedule this. So let's make sure we keep Harry very very happy here, because last thing I need is for more reasons. Yeah, just have him say things on commentary next weekend. Which again, want to remind everyone that is watching, please don't forget, we return to Hoboken next Saturday night, October the 12th. It is going to be a stacked event from top to bottom. Also, it is a Halloween horror night, so you never know what could happen. The spooky season truly arriving to TCW on that night.
Hell yeah.
So can't wait for that. But I do have to ask you though, Jack, again, when it comes to especially having that size, having that presence, who are some people that even maybe you do tape study, that you do try to get little notes of, that it's like, you know what, let's pull from this, let's pull from that, and see, just creating your own, again, those visuals for yourself.
So Of course, we had the Bad Blood pay-per-view last night, and I think the main people that people should be studying, in my opinion, of course, always should be the top guys, and there's a reason for that. When that tag match came on last night between Solo, Jacob Fatu, Cody, and Roman, they literally did nothing for 10 minutes straight. They did nothing, and the crowd was going more wild than they had the entire night. I think when you just look at that and see their presence and how they act and how they move, in any case, it's so smooth, it's so precise, and everything about them has a meaning and has a purpose. Every step they take is not wasted. And I think that's something that I study at the very least. Everybody should be studying the very top of the top. But for me, I've always studied guys like Triple H, Mike Awesome, what's it called? I'm spacing on the names now. Kevin Nash, another big guy that I study a lot. Scott Hall too, very underrated. That dude is another dude. He never wasted a step. He never wasted a moment, whether he spoke, he was wrestling, doing a backstage segment. No wasted motion. That dude did everything to a T. And rest in peace, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. That dude should be studied till the end of time. But for me, I study a lot of Triple H. Triple H is my favorite wrestler of all time. Just me personally. But that dude, again, I always try and study the guys who are so fluent. They don't waste motion. Everything they do has a reason, has a purpose. And I can go on for days. You got Edge, Christian. They're like two of the best to ever do that, in my opinion. R-Truth, even. R-Truth, like, he's one of the most underrated wrestlers ever. I feel like he should be in a way higher position than he is right now. But, of course, I'm not in charge of that. But that's just – he's one of my guys that I watched in TNA when he was NWA champion. And I enjoyed every moment of him. Of course, I couldn't watch him when he was K-Quick in the WWF. I literally didn't even have the brain power to do that yet. But he is a dude that has been around forever, and there's a reason he's been around forever. It's because of how damn good he is. And I wish people would see him more, too.
Gotcha. No,
but
that
those
works.
are some names that I'll throw out right there.
Got you. And I like that list, though, because you see a lot of the just character is important with that. A lot of the character work, a lot of, like you said, that non-wasted motion in there, a lot of just pure technique, and it reflects. You see those little instances of that in yourself, in the way you are, not only as a performer when it comes to the character, the person. So again, that's interesting to look at. Now I'm definitely going to be watching to see. I could see a little bit of that Triple H influence right there. We could see this. We could see that. So
I think everybody would be lying if they said they did not take something from their favorite wrestler and use it themselves. I think every single person in the ring lies about that if they say they've never taken something from their favorite wrestler. They're a liar, and I don't believe them.
No, definitely agreed. And I think that goes to, especially anyone that's in this, you're going to have something that it's like, even if it comes to little notes, little things like that, it's like, yep, the influence is there. Like I'll admit it myself when it comes to commentary, definitely trying to steal little cadences from Steve Corino. That was someone when it comes to commentary that I'm like watching his way. That's like, okay, I like this, but I want to tweak it my way in a sense. That's, I feel like, is the best thing when it comes to wrestling and it comes to this, is tweaking, again, having those notes with someone, but making it work for what you try to present in that ring or present in the for the show, in a sense.
Right. Taking anything that you steal and turning it into your own is the way you make yourself you. Definitely.
And again, we're continuing to see that, and we continue to see where that will take you as well. Like I said, next Saturday, that special appearance right there. Make sure you get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen, and we shall see as Harry continues to take that 10%. I still not too fond of that. Again, I feel like Jack should be having his 100%, but it's okay. That is, we shall see where that
Listen,
goes.
10% ain't nothing for a lifetime of glory. All right, 10% ain't nothing.
I still want to know what is he going to use that 10% for? What are his plans here? And again, like you said, 10% could possibly be of the success, 10% of the pay, 10% of. There's a lot of things, so I feel like that's it's that deal with the devil. But hey,
well, I think 10% can be whatever your heart desires, because you will never know the answer to that 10%. That's all you'll know is that 10%. And that 10% gets put into everything that we put into the ring. Okay. So use your imagination with that 10%, because that's all you'll get.
I see. This is, again, I'm just trying to use those journalistic things just to see what you'll give us here. But I get it. Again, that's gonna stay between closed doors between you three. So I get it. It's understandable here. But Jack, as we start to wrap this up though, because I don't want to take up too much more of your time here, because again, you are a busy guy and you're still, especially after a busy weekend, trying to get some relaxation as well. So we're gonna let you go with this final question here, and that is
10% of my time when you don't earn 10% of my time. All right.
So was this part of that? My apologies. Again, I thought that was just for Harry. I'm sorry. Again.
But no. This is part of the deal, man. This is part of the deal.
But as we start to wrap this up here, the final question for you, Jack, is for the real talent himself, Jack Maertens. What is the end goal, brother?
The end goal is to be the very best that I can possibly be, whether it's in Titan or not. And if I'm being 100% honest, my ultimate goal in life, no matter how long it takes until the day I die even, or past that, I don't care. My goal is to be a WWE Hall of Famer. And I don't care if I ever win a WWE championship in that way or whatever. I just want to get that ring and immortalize myself forever. That's the only thing I care about. One of my biggest fears in life is being forgotten. And I don't want to let that happen at all. So if I got to do what I got to do, whether it's winning championships or not, I'm going to make sure that I am remembered long after I'm gone.
Gotcha. Love to see it right there. Again, Jack, thank you so much for joining us here. I want to remind everyone, if they haven't already, make sure you are following Jack on all of his social media right there. On Instagram right there, Real Jack Maertens. Follow him on X right there at Real J Maertens. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you are following Titan on all of their social media right there. Titan Championship Wrestling on Instagram, at Titan Champions 1 on X. And if you haven't already, make sure you get your tickets now for Savage Intentions at www.titan/championshipwrestling.com. All of those links and to Jack's social media will be in the description down below. Jack, thank you again so much for joining us here. I hope this wasn't too much here. My apologies again if you felt like I was stirring the pot, just doing my job. So to everyone that is watching, thank you guys again. We'll be back. We'll be back here at 8 p.m. later on tonight with Silky Smooth. But till then, as always, don't forget to be wise, be genuine, be real, be better people, respect the craft, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody.